Last time on Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yugi, I think I'm pregnant, and Yami is the father.
Okay, maybe not really. But anyways, last time on Silver Chaos, we were downtown with Fritz Crackers and Prince Wern, which I think that is how you pronounce his name. They say Werne, but they're Japanese, and we're not. Or I'm not. I don't know about you, but I'm not. So I guess Wern will just have to do for now. Did I just bump the thing? I hope not. Oh well. Anyhow, so yes, we are downtown. And Wern is telling Fritz he is a bad Fritz Crackers because he was going to tattle on father. He's also telling me, you know what, calling me Prince all over town is going to attract attention. You're going to get us even more trouble, so just stop calling me Prince. Prince all over town. And then he points at Fritz and snaps sharply at him. Fritz is just like, why don't you just listen to anything I say? Really, why did you have to become this type of person? Sheesh. Poor Ritz Crackers. I need to get my mouse out of the way. That's Cypher, by the way. You can't really tell, but Cypher with a little Charmander-looking thing. It's obvious that Prince didn't hear Fritz's comment at first. And while Fritz was biting his handkerchief that he used to wipe his sweat. Ew, that is gross. Don't eat the... Okay, never mind. He's muttering sorrowfully, hoping that nobody was hearing him. And then Wern says, did you say something? And you can see he came in earshot at just the right moment. And Wern, who was walking about 5 steps ahead, turns around, stops, and looks at him. And Fritz is like, no, but no, I didn't say anything. And he's like swinging his hands and waving his neck and swinging his neck and waving his hands. You know what I mean. And tries to cover up his mean comment. And as he did that, and he turns away, we hear Wern making noises for some reason. And Wern's body is drawn into the shade of a building. Uh-oh. Oh no. Gotta go find out what's wrong. Of course, Fritz breaks into a run, and runs as fast as he possibly can. Oh boy. 2 hoodlums apparently have Wern kidnapped. Probably could kidnap him for ransom. It's like, oh, it seems like you're the prince. Yeah, well, see, I think in the last video I said something about his clothes giving him away. That might be part of it. Although the amusing part is here, it says right here, that the person's name is Ruffian A. That's a very interesting name. Of course, Wern's shaking all around trying to escape, but he's not very strong, so... Fritz is like, oh, release Prince Wern right now. Yeah, real threatening. And then Ruffian B says, as I thought, he's a prince, big brother. And it's like, well, if you want my little brother, older brother, little brother, to return the prince, bring plenty of ransom. Yeah, here we go. Typical, this always happens. Fritz is like, great. Yeah, if you want him returned safely, you're going to have to bring some money. That's what we want. Try to tilt this up. No, that's bad. Camera's falling. Okay. I hate the glare on this thing. Lorence like, Fritz, you idiot! If you weren't yelling, Prince, Prince, this wouldn't have happened. Yeah, that's a good point. Wouldn't. Of course, he glares at him. It's like, good job, Fritz Crackers, it's all your fault. Fritz is like, great, what am I gonna do? Now, meanwhile, Mike Filing comes into town. And he's away from the training school now, and he just notices he's in town. Well, yeah, might want to notice that a little sooner. The training school is now far away on the other side of town. Mike's like, well, it should be okay if I've come this far. And even though he didn't consciously come here, when he considered it might be convenient to hide himself amongst the people, and if his pursuer was to appear. And while he's thinking about that, just as he took a rest, a hungry feeling welled up inside of him. He's gonna need some food. It's like, oh, I guess I'm kind of hungry now that I think about it. I haven't eaten for quite a while. I doubt Hector fed him anything. Since he got injured yesterday afternoon, he'd spent a whole day without putting anything in his mouth, yeah. His physical strength was exhausted, and he was tormented by Hector. He wasn't able to carry himself until now. He's like, well, what should I eat? And as he's searching for a meal, he passed the street stands. And then he hears something. And we're back to this again. And apparently he spots the men holding Wern. And blah blah. One of the ruffians hissed and knocked down the man who seemed weak. Oh, I'm talking about Fritz. Crackers can easily be broken. And then Fritz falls into Might and tumbles out of the shade of the building. And he spots him. Might's like, are you okay? And Warren takes a good look at him, and he notices that Might has a sword on his hip. He exclaims, even though I don't know who you are, the prince, please help Prince Wern. Bah! My video camera crapped out on me and ran out of battery right when I was in the middle of this, so I'll just have to mesh the videos together, which by the time you guys are looking at this, I'll have already done. And to video camera dying things, I say, OBJECTION! Yes. Now, as we were saying, Wern is complaining, and he spots Fritz talking to Mice, and he's like, Fritz, you moron! Why are you asking him? He's probably with these hoodlums. And not only his dress, but the arrogance of Wern's attitude was the same level of the royal family. And that sort of attitude didn't peg people for things. It seemed like he wasn't fully aware of the situation he was in. Yeah, Wern's not that bright. At least not yet, anyways. No, this unintentionally discouraged Might, the weak man frantically pleaded with him again. He's like, please, please, lend us a hand, please. Alright, so, now, this is the second option. So, to continue on with Lawrence's route, decide to lend a hand. Might's like, okay, fine. I understand, so please, just stop holding on to me so tightly. You're going to break my arm. And Fritz was trembling in shock, but he finally understood Might's request and nodded his head. At first, he wouldn't move his hands, though, because he was afraid he was going to be abandoned. But then he finally lets go. He's like, oh, thank you so much. And Ruffian A says, what's this? You boys, you want to argue with us? You have a lot of nerve. B says, big brother, go easy on them. They don't look like companions. They treated Might as if he was a fool. Of course, the bigger guy takes out a sickle and chain, and the attached weight hummed as he rolled it. It's like, well, start, boys. He threw the chain, tipped the end of the weight, pierced through the air towards Might's face. He dodged it with only a hair's breadth, and the weight pierced the wall behind him. Okay. Of course, Fritz is screaming like a ninny. It hit immediately beside his face. Okay, well, that's a good reason to scream like a ninny. And people are like, oh, what is that? What's causing all the ruckus? Oh, it's a brawl, it's a brawl. Let's go watch and let's go bother them while they're doing this and make even bigger scene. Ruffian A says, hurry this up and let's get that out of here. Man swung the chain once more, aiming at Might and letting it go. Might dodged to avoid being hit in the chest, and overhead he swung the sickle down. His body dodged suddenly, and he repelled the attack with his sword. A sharp metallic sound hurt their ears. Might's like, I won't be able to take this type of attack much more. I'm almost at my limit with this. His arm numbed as he held off the attack. His opponent made use of his overwhelming physical difference and put his weight into swinging the sickle downward. Even though he had nearly perfected his self-taught swordsmanship, he couldn't take great physical power for very long, so they were both kind of wearing down by this point. As he swings the sickle down, Mites jump out of the way once more. The ruffian says, like, this sickle, I'll keep coming, and why does he have a smiley face on his arm? Here, you can't really see it here. See if we can zoom in on this smiley face. What kind of a guy wears a smiley face tattoo? Look at that. It's like a freaking happy face with eyelashes and curly hair. What the crap? Okay, that's kind of weird. Now I gotta zoom out again and refix it. Right. Zoom out a little more. There we go.